Hello and welcome to the deep dive video of the new prompt variables feature of Weavy. If you haven't watched the announcement video, I would highly recommend watching that first and then coming back to this video. We'll make sure the announcement video is linked in the description together with this deep dive workflow as well. So let's get started. My name is Ken, I'm a Weavy community member, and I've been asked by Weavy if I could do a more deep dive into workflows I normally build. And in this instance, I've grabbed a video production workflow, and I've also created an image shot generation workflow as well, in which we can have a base image and then figure out how we can create different shots of that as well within a certain theme. So let's jump in. For the video production workflow, I've aimed to choose the League of Legends Arcane series because it's something I really like. And it's also cool because Nano Banana is also trained on it, so we can do some cool things with this. To start off this workflow, I've set up a shot creation group in which we can have we can choose between the character, the environment, and the scene type. So what I've done is I've added multiple choices to the list items, and I've just selected one of them, and it basically gave back a prompt. A cinematic League of Legends arcane scene featuring Jinx and Vi in a rain-soaked sun alley between Gemtech buildings, filled with dust and broken inventions caught in bittersweet ferals. There is no need for me to rework this workflow. The only thing I have to do at the beginning is make a selection of what the scene is that I would like to create. Together with a user prompt and a system prompt, we can bring that together by simply naming it. And because we have a cool feature in which we can choose the display type within the prompt variables node, I think it is really cool to keep somewhat of like an overview, because I know what the workflow is going to do, and it is just nice to see the order in which the variables are located in. Using this as an instruction for the LLM, we're getting back multiple shot prompts. These are going to be split up with the array node into different variables. And I've set up the structure from the LLM in a way that with an exclamation mark, it will divide all the different variables. And within those variables, I've generated multiple prompts, which are divided with an @ sign, as we can see in these array nodes. And that basically gives me a list of different things I can choose from. So what is really cool is that once we go into the shot creation group, we can see here that I've made multiple shots. So it's kind of orientated for Kling, in which we have a first frame and a last frame. So per shot, I've basically gathered the different list items in which we can make multiple selections as well. So for the first one, we know that we want to have the first scene, so the first shot. And if we go all the way to the last shot, we can see that we have selected the last shot as well. So it gives us 1 to 6 shots, and we basically narrow that down per shot that we would like to showcase. Then what is really cool, I still have extra options. So I can see what the scene is saying, and then I can also choose a different lens. I can choose a different shot type. And then I've also added the text iterator node. So I don't want to pre-select a character angle. I kind of want to go through all of them, which are going to be delivered to me. So it's really cool to be able to have a single input or have multiple inputs. It's almost like making something dynamic from going from static. So as we can see here, I changed the display source again. But here, it basically goes through the scene. We get the selection of making the lenses choice. Then we have the shot type. And then we also have the text iterator node, which will go through all the character angles. So if we look at our shots here, we can see we have generated 5 images. And this is because our text iterator node had 5 inputs. And with the prompt variables feature, it also registers that and takes it into account for the next step of your workflow. So yes, we can see here all the different character angles it went through, and we can just choose the one that we like. So it's also really cool if you want to do brainstorming, or you want to just have a cool iterative process before you go into the next steps in your workflow. So I've basically done this for every single shot here. So I've basically just changed the shot type. Same on this side as well. So what we can do is we can make different selections, which will automatically update the prompt variables node as well. And that gives us different results when we look at this shot type. So if you want to have a little bit of more manual labor, what you can do is open everything up, read it, and then based on the type of shot that you're getting from the LLM, you can then also choose the different variables as well. So this is basically the workflow for a video production shoot. And what I've done is also I've generated it again. So I started with a different beginning. So Heimer, Victor in the Piltover Academy, and they're doing some strategic planning. And the LLM is making these shot lists again and basically going through the same workflow. And we can see here that we're getting those images that we're requesting with the different lens types, with the different prompt scenes. And also every single node has multiple options that we can choose from. And you can see it's perfectly following our directions. So this is how in a video production workflow, you can start with the prompt variables, but you can also build your workflow around having it integrated in the middle of your workflow. And then as a surprise, I've also added another one. And this is like one of the main components I use in my day-to-day workflows for making fashion workflows, in which we're going to be changing the shots for the base image that we have. So what I want to do here is sometimes I want to have more stylized shot types. So what I can do here is how I've set it up is I can add a photo shoot direction prompt. And this is basically going to be the ingredients the LLM is going to be using to generate the variables and the prompts that you're going to be getting in the rest of the workflow. So generate the Oakley artifacts prompt, editorial variables list using the exact required structure and formatting rules that we have listed down in our system prompt. So the LLM is perfectly giving that back to us. So all the different prompts, and then also we're able to split it up with an exclamation mark again to get the variables. Then we split those up into poses, expressions, framing, and garments. And then you can see with the array node, we split that up again. We took different lists to get all the different options again, and then we can use to create our different prompts. So as you can see, I can just clean it up by using the different display nodes. But basically, we're asking it to use the reference image 1 as a base and keep the person, outfit, and accessories like the same. But we do want to have some variability by changing the poses, expression, framing, and garment as well. And yeah, this basically changes the prompts. So how do we use it? So if we look at the overview here of all the different images, we can see that we started off with a source file number 1, source file number 2, and source file number 3. And then on the right hand side, we have shot 1 and shot 2 per base image. So we get the option to add variation to our shots. And all we did is we took prompt 1 and prompt 2, and then we connected them to the 3 different variations per 3 different base images. And this is how you can use the prompt variables feature both in the beginning and in the middle of your workflow. Keep in mind this workflow is linked in the description. Also join our Discord community if you have any more questions and you want to reach out to us. And please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, see you guys in the future.